go to Facebook, because Facebook's a dumbass. And then go to Facebook again.
I is ready.
You is red
I
eye.
is ready, and you know we need to get this bottle open.
Let's see
I
here.
can handle that.
Come on. Bear with us just a second, folks. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey y'all, who is on there joining us tonight?
There we go.
Now let's see if everything is working. All right. Welcome everybody to Tales from the Lounge. I'm Ron,
I'm Rhonda.
and this is our special guest Joseph, who I hate.
Of course you do. Of course you do,
Of
Ron.
course.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. I
Thanks for
can't
having me on.
I can't believe I actually let you on the show.
Well, you hated me so much that you had to bring me into something that you enjoyed just so I could ruin it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right. That's right.
Just make
And
it sure.
actually, what the truth is
Yeah.
is
Let's,
Rhonda invited you.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. Yeah, okay.
Hey,
I
hey,
get that.
hey.
I get that. She was the one that definitely seemed more interested and less jealous. So
exactly. See,
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
jealous
yes.
because I have hair.
Yes.
I have
But we will
hair.
tell that story here shortly.
Yeah, we will tell that story here shortly.
Joseph,
are you not joining us in this Dalmar? Wait, is this your cup? This
That's
is your
his
glass.
glass.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, we have the same one.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
got
are,
the same one.
we are
So it's
drinking
like,
Dalmor
I
12
thought I was
tonight.
participating. Are you taking my glass too?
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. It's just,
For those of you who know, that's one of my favorites right there. It's
Okay,
not
hand me
overly
those- that's
expensive. I've got mine.
no.
Oh.
Would you like me to go ahead and uncover this? I mean, I don't think you want the air to continue to get to it, do you?
Well, you know,
I mean, I'm
not
happy
just
to leave
finishing
it
the bottle
open.
off tonight anyway.
You
so,
know,
I mean,
I'm happy to leave it
you know,
open.
you know
guys,
how I am.
We are drinking. What are we drinking? Dalmor
12. Yes.
Yes.
It's about a $65 bottle of scotch, and you know.
That's not a bad bottle.
No, it's
Price
it's
per
a
bottle.
little pricey for me for an everyday drink because I drink so much.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
so
Yeah,
you know,
so, you know, it's
if I
good.
wasn't such a lush, you know, I could buy a bottle and it would last me more than a couple of days.
Yeah, but I'll
Yeah.
tell you this much: whenever I look at a scotch, just about everything that I'm interested in to try at least at face value winds up
Yep.
being 85 plus. So $65. I'm gonna have to.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to give it a
Borrow
try
your
at some
cutter?
point.
Oh, you don't have a cutter?
I
Oh,
do.
You
but
want
it's
to borrow
a
my
straight cut.
purple
No,
cutter?
I want to
Oh, you
borrow.
want
the-
Oh,
deep
you want to
cut.
be cut.
Got it.
Well,
I
hurry
wanna
up,
deep cut.
sneaking on. Cheers.
Wonderful.
Yeah, look at him. He's jumping the gun.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you
because
know.
he's a lush too. I get.
Yeah,
I
well,
take
hell,
it.
that's all of us.
So,
anyway,
cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we're gonna have a good night tonight.
We
Gonna
are
have a good
definitely going to
show.
have a good night tonight.
And we're going to get into the usual stuff. We're going to do the quick intro, come back after 10 seconds, and then Rhonda and Joseph are going to talk for a minute while I do technical shit, and then we're going to harass the shit out of each other for a while.
That's what we're going to do for
All
a
right.
whole straight hour, guys.
So, see you in a sec.
Joseph, I'm so
And
glad
we're back.
that you are able to join us tonight.
You know, thank you for having me.
Yes.
It might have been a rocky attempt for me to get here. But
Yes.
I made
But
it.
you
I
made it.
just
You know,
fine.
you
I
made it. Let me
yeah.
tell you something. Sometimes things happen for a reason. And so you have to just look at it that way, that happened for a specific reason we will not ever know, but it happened.
Very true.
It was
Very
probably
true.
meant for you not to drive home.
I guess not. That's okay. I made it here. I get
That's
to
right.
hang out with you guys.
That's right. You get to
and
hang out with us.
Have a
with
wonderful
all this
cigar.
beautiful, natural, curly hair
All natural.
that Ron
All
is
natural.
so jealous of.
Well, it's not just him. I get,
You get it
anytime
every-
I'm in the lounge, I get asked by someone
They might think it's
probably once a week. Is that that's yours?
Right.
Is that yours? No, it's a wig. It's mine. I understand, it might be a wig. I just didn't come from the culture where I would have grown my hair out and known that I could cut it off and make it into a wig and wear it whenever I want.
Right.
I didn't know that until I was probably in my early teens seeing it on Jerry Springer or something like that. And then, rest in peace, sorry,
Yes.
Jerry. My grandmother probably is glad that Jerry's finally joined her up there and can entertain her.
She loved Jerry.
Loved Jerry.
Jerry's
But yeah,
funny. I love Jerry Springer Show. I used to watch that shit all the time.
Just
for the laughs.
It sat in a hard place for me because I could enjoy watching it, but I always had to watch it because that's what my mom and my grandmother loved to watch. So it was either Steve Wilkos, Jerry Springer, maybe it was what was his name, Maury. We'd occasionally get Maury Povich, or Montel Williams. Occasionally, Montel Williams.
Yes.
You can't forget Montel, but I didn't know that you could even do fake hair like that for a non-cancer purpose. I was kind of sheltered growing up. I didn't understand a whole lot of things culturally, so I had no clue. So now people ask me, "Is that real?" Like, I get it's a thing, but yes, it is. Real.
Yeah, yes, it is.
It's real. If it wasn't, then I wouldn't deal with it.
So let's start off with that story.
Oh, okay. Yes,
so
let's do it.
How long have you worked here at Industrial?
Almost 3 months now. Been
Almost
here
3 months.
since February.
And so you probably had only been working a couple of days when I met you.
It was like my second night here. Before I was officially hired, it was my second night here.
Yeah.
And I was accosted by this lovely gentleman over here.
So I introduced myself to him.
Yes.
And I said, I want to get this straight right off the bat. I hate your guts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he looked at me and says, "It's the hair, isn't it?"
Yes.
Well, I get it. Look, I grew up around bald men. My dad, my stepdad, he's been in my life for the last 20 years. He's been bald the entire time, and I guess I'm used to what's going to come from that.
Right.
Because as a bald man, he seems to attract bald men in public, which means I'm exposed to that many more bald men.
Right. Okay.
And I've got plenty of bald friends. I don't know. I just expect it at this point.
Exactly.
I understand that I'm blessed, so some people are going to be jealous.
And that's okay. And Ron is definitely one of those people that is jealous.
Yes.
Well, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Go ahead, tell us why. But first
Because-
before you tell us why, let me give a shout out to Lavonda Jones. Hey, Mama. Hi, Brian.
And Charles T is on.
And Charles. Hi, Charles. Thank you guys
Charles,
for joining.
thanks for joining us. Lavonda, welcome.
And
So go ahead with the story.
so a billion years ago, when I was much younger, I had hair down to here, full, thick, long hair, and it went away. And I have missed it.
Yeah.
It went away. So I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And I know that you are very jealous.
Yes.
Only comically. Yeah.
Are very jealous. Very jealous of it. So
because it's a funny gag,
Fair enough.
Yeah, but
There's nothing wrong with that.
everybody wishes that they had Joseph's hair. So
That's true.
we
Are gonna get me a wig?
are gonna solve that problem for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very, very soon.
Okay.
Very soon.
We're gonna solve that problem for
Okay. But, and another gag, especially with hair like his, I joke that if that's the only way I could wear it, I'd still take it.
you. There you go. So since you want to be a little mini Joseph, I have brought you some hair.
Oh my God.
So
Yes.
I have brought you some hair.
Perfect.
So this is the
my
pack, and then you're gonna
God.
go ahead and put this on your
Oh my
head.
This is what I live for.
Come here.
This is
Come
what
here.
I live for.
Okay.
Got it.
There you
got
go.
it.
There you
Looking
go.
Good. Looking
This is.
good.
I have been wanting to get. This is one of the reasons why I needed Joseph on this show. It was
So
an
she
absolute
could
must.
harass me about not having any hair?
Exactly.
Oh my God, I
We get to
feel
share-
the love.
So you get to share the
Share.
love with Joseph.
You know what?
You
Yep.
you are
Share
his
the
twin
love.
tonight. So
Yes.
we're just gonna go ahead on and share this love.
Absolutely.
Let's get groovy tonight.
Let's get groovy tonight.
Oh, give me a second.
We've got some technical adjustments. Oh man.
I forgot to turn those on. All right.
Awesome.
Oh man, that looks much better. All right.
That looks good. Yeah.
Oh man.
You're backlit.
Oh,
it looks glorious.
oh man, I love this.
I gotta get in on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful.
So you have hair tonight.
I have hair tonight.
Now you don't have to be
And it's
jealous
bigger
at least
than
for a little
yours.
while.
Yeah.
It is bigger. It is.
So we got you with some hair tonight.
So many comments about hearing that from a white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
and
Yeah, because I'm not getting caught in that lie.
what is up with this LaCroix?
So the gentleman who just got up to walk away and leave. So I was working in the lounge here, and he had his little cooler full of LaCroix, and he's got his scotch, he's got his cigar,
Right.
and he's got his LaCroix that was smacked with a raspberry from 6,000 miles
Here, go
away,
ahead.
and
Sam.
hey, come
Come
here,
here.
Sam. So the story behind the LaCroix is that
Come on, Sam, get in here.
this is
What's up, guys?
This is our friend Sam.
What's up, Sam? So Sam got some flack from me for having a LaCroix here in the lounge.
Hey, at least it wasn't White
about
Claw.
a week ago. Oh, it wasn't a White Claw, so that's better redemption points.
Exactly.
Exactly. This is a little more
Premium seltzer.
It's premium. It's a little more classy. It's not, what White Claw has been known for.
It's in French.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. It's French, so it's slightly classier. So it was a gift from this gentleman as little gags. He wanted to call me out on the show, so now I'm getting called out.
Yes.
And so, and
I
we'll
mean,
have to arrange to have you on the show here before too much longer too.
I love the hair. I gotta say.
Oh,
Yeah, he was
Dude.
just, he is so jealous of Joseph's hair, so I had to bring him some
Yes.
I was gonna say, what was your inspiration? But I think it's pretty clear.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
hair. Joseph. The minute he met him, he's like, I hate you. Like, who tells that to somebody when they first meet him? Like, first words out of your mouth, I hate you. And he's like, well, let me guess. The hair.
Yep.
The hair.
Yep.
So, I
he
figured,
said
hey, since he hated him, why didn't he just be like him? So I brought him
That's
some
it.
hair.
Now he gets to join
Hey,
me.
but
Now he gets to
the
join me.
funny thing is, we shook hands, and then now every time we see each other, we're hugging each other's necks, and
That's very
and,
true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
and we love each other. I mean, it's
You're one of my favorite people to see up here. Just because I know that not only is it going to be an easy night, but it's going to be a night where if anything was to happen that could potentially make it a bad night, all I got to do is turn it on, and I'll have a smile on my face for the rest of the night.
Right.
just,
That's it.
just
That's it.
ask me
That's
how
it.
are you doing today, and I'll say it's another beautiful day in paradise,
Yeah, that's it.
and everything's much better.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. You guys
All
enjoy
right,
the
Sam.
show.
I know
Have
you
a
gotta
good
go,
day. See you
but
later,
thank
man.
you for making
Yeah.
that
See you
pop-up
again, brother.
appearance. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Well, let's talk about what we're smoking here. I pulled out something special tonight. We are
Absolutely
smoking
wonderful.
Principal.
Isn't it great?
It's so
That's
good.
such a great-
Pierre,
I'm surprised
so
you've never
good.
had
Night
one of these.
lights.
Well, you know what?
These come in limited numbers anytime they're
Yeah.
available, and
I haven't been aware of Principle long enough to know
Yeah,
that these were a
exact-
thing.
exactly,
Because
exactly.
the last release of these were well before I started here.
Exactly.
So that I had no idea that these existed. I actually was digging around, doing some research on Principle's website to learn more about the Aviator series, learn more about
Yeah.
the time to burn, like really try to get more data on the blends,
Yes.
and just do some research into my craft, and found these, and I go, this is something I haven't seen before. I haven't asked any questions because I knew that they were so limited that
Yeah.
no one around here is walking into the humidor and saying, hey, do you have any more night flies?
Exactly.
No one talks about it, so there's a
there
good
ain't
reason.
none.
It's because there's a
Exactly.
good reason. So I figured
well, you know,
that
and I'll give you an
they come
example,
around.
and I'll give you an example of
Okay.
how rare these things are.
Okay, please do.
They generally, at most, are 5% of their entire production. And one time we got some Cochon Blanc night flights in, and we got the entire production.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
6 boxes. That was it.
Oh, goodness.
And we were
Oh,
fighting
goodness.
over them.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a hard limit on those. I think the deal was you could buy 2 and if you bought something else, you could get an extra one.
Oh, wow,
But I mean,
okay,
it was
yeah.
because everybody wanted them, and they wanted to
They
make
just-
sure the love got spread around.
Yeah, just the first ones in that saw them, had 'em. So I've got a question for you too. What do you think about limited releases in the cigar industry? Because I've seen some different perspectives on it in the cigar industry, in the whiskey, the booze, Scotch, bourbon,
depends
and
on the
pipe
producer.
tobacco. Okay.
It depends
Yeah,
on the
it
producer.
really does. It really
if
depends on the
it's-
producer.
if
What
it's-
about them?
Well, if it's actually a limited edition, they're using some extra rare tobacco or extra aging or something like that, that's awesome. If it's, hey, we're going to do a limited edition, but it's really just going to be kind of our regular stuff, and we're going to put it in a little different wrapper, and we're going to limit it to 5,000 boxes. I mean, that's really not limited edition. That's just a sales tactic. So it depends on the intent and the thought behind it. And with boutique cigars, when you get a limited edition, you're getting limited edition.
So you actually want value. So what you're saying is you want a value out of it being a limited edition, not just a fancy marketing tactic. You don't just want someone to slap a new logo on something and
Exactly.
say, this is
Right,
new
right.
for this
This-
year.
yeah, exactly.
You actually want the value behind
Exactly.
something that's
100%.
excuse me, that's supposed to be limited.
Exactly.
It needs a reason to be limited, not just
Right.
that it says
Right.
And
limited.
then you have a lot of the cigar owners that will only release certain amount of boxes to certain cigar lounges.
Right.
And like-
And what I like about ICC is that they get a lot of limited edition stuff,
Yes.
and they open it up to the members before
Yes.
they open it up to like the public.
Mm-hmm.
But when they tell you it's limited edition, it's limited edition.
Yeah.
It's 100%
And it's kinda
limited.
like- and
You
it's kinda
better
like
get
the
it.
Techuaje.
Yeah, you better get it, and
Yeah.
you can get it.
Yeah.
The Halloween release for Techuaje.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
We got lucky. I guess it was maybe only their second year in business, and they got picked to be one of the 666 boxes came here, and I wound up getting one of the dress boxes for the who was it? Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh,
So that's
nice.
been
Yeah.
3-4 years ago.
Okay.
So when you get that stuff, you just want to hang on to it and hold on to it. Just maybe smoke 1 or 2 out of it, but put
Right.
the rest up, because
Mine are
you
still
never
in
know
my
when
aging-
never know when it's going to come back or when they're
Mine
going
are
to release
still in the
something
aging
else.
humidor in the wrapper, and in fact the wrapper was actually opened a little bit just so that Pete could sign it when he came in
Okay.
to the shop.
Gotcha.
So-
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
And people
it's
keep telling me I could probably
it's limited.
Right.
Grab
And
it
that-
if you can grab it.
Right. And no, but that makes a lot of sense, and I see that that's where the trend is going. Is that people want actual value. They want.
Right.
It needs to be a rare tobacco. It needs to be something you can't get your hands on.
Well,
it needs to be truly like selected. Like it has to be. You have to be given a value out of it.
And I'll give you an example. I posted the cigar of the day today, and what I posted was actually an old photo
Okay.
from when we went to Cuba, but it was actual Cohiba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cuban
And-
Cohiba.
Yeah, and so, I talked a little bit about it, but I also mentioned that because of the increase in prices from Cuban cigars, I mean, they went 300% up, now they're going up another 300%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There,
Ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah.
the taste isn't of that kind of value.
Right.
Right.
Period.
Is it worth paying that
It's-
money
it
for
was,
a
it was
product
worth
that's
$20.
not-
It was
Right.
not worth
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give a few shout outs. Hey Wesley,
And Jesse,
Jesse. He said he might have to pull out his night flight.
please do join us.
Absolutely.
And Wesley is smoking Crux Epicure, another good one. Go ahead, Wesley. I'm a Bull and
Yeah,
Bears
there you
kind
go.
of girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
saw
are.
Sam. I saw Sam yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yep, from Crux. So
Yeah. So I'm a Crux kind of girl. I love me some Crux. My favorite is the Bull and Bear, and always will be.
Now that you say that, he gave me a Duke Connoisseur number 4 that I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
Ooh.
oh yeah. I've had the Bull and Bear, I've had that Epicure Maduro, and I still need to try the Epicure. It's just not in my normal range, so I haven't
So you haven't
warmed up to
you
it
haven't
yet.
you haven't wanted to taste that one yet.
Well, there's
right?
a lot of other things in the humidor that are more like on brand for my palate, but just off enough that it's a new experience.
Yeah.
That the Epicure goes so far from that.
Yeah.
Like if this was in the humidor, I'd grab it.
Absolutely, 100%.
Because this fits like my medium
me tell you
to
something.
medium plus profile. Like I'm right there with you.
Anytime a principal is in a humidor, people are gonna grab it.
Right. Oh yeah.
Especially a night flight.
Yes.
Like Jesse's
Thank
gonna
you
get
very
ready
much,
to smoke.
Victoria.
Yeah.
Especially
Victoria
that,
Hall
it-
said,
Yeah.
nice hair.
Oh yes.
Nice,
Wonderful.
yeah,
Wonderful
nice hair,
pro.
nice
Wonderful
hair,
pro.
right? Nice hair.
I finally am getting beat on the wow factor.
And it is wow,
look,
believe me.
Yes,
Look.
it is. Yes, it is.
He was just so jealous of your hair.
Mm-hmm.
I had to just bring it.
We had to fix it.
yeah,
we had
that
to
was-
give him
you
relief.
I had to.
There's a reason why you and I are friends.
Right?
You read me so well, and and
I mean,
I had to be real
you're
reserved.
you're my work wife.
that's
You know?
right.
I had to be real reserved around you for the last week or so because I couldn't say anything about the wig.
Oh, you knew this.
I knew the whole
knew it.
time.
Bastard.
I knew
Oh.
the whole time.
He knew.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
he did.
I just.
that is
I
so
have been
funny.
planning
I
this
could-
for a couple weeks
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. She's been devious.
Yes, I've been planning this for a couple weeks. I have had that in my
I'm gonna- you know what?
on my shelf,
I'm gonna-
among all my other little things.
I'm gonna have to wear this next time I wear something sexy.
Oh Lord Jesus.
And moving on to our next segment.
Yes. On to the next. Oh Lord. You can't
Goodness.
take his ass any.
We can't even bring him here.
No damn where.
Do we need?
Always acting up.
Can we readjust the shot and turn the frame a little bit? We can. He's got his hair. He can go do his thing. He's good. He's good.
He's trying to get more of my hair in the frame. Oh.
Wonderful. Wow. Such a good cigar. Also,
That
this
is-
Dalmore. I've never had the Dalmore before.
Oh, you have
Wesley-
not?
Never had it before.
Wesley-
No.
Wesley's at
Okay, what's
Hey.
up, Wesley?
remind me to grab a night flight next time I'm in there, if they're here.
Right,
The
yeah.
problem is they come in and they
they're
fly off
gone.
the shelves.
They're gone. Like you gotta get it when you
Come
can get it.
Come get some. We've got Cochon Blancs. Get the Petite Cochon Blanc. We don't have night flights.
Yeah.
But the deal is, watch the Saturday at the Shop show.
Yes,
Because
yes.
they notoriously will announce,
Yeah.
especially the night flights are available
Oh, yeah.
on that show. And as soon as they do, jump online or call
And,
in
yeah.
and say, "Hold on for
Yes.
for
I'm telling you, you
some
better
of
get
those."
it when you can get it. If you don't
Yeah.
get it, you just assed out.
Yep.
Just assed
But
out. So
here's-
if you have a night flight in
Skippy.
your humidor,
Skippy's watching.
hey
Hi,
Skippy.
Skippy. So here's another thing I do want to stress that I think a lot of people don't think enough about with limited edition tobacco in general. Don't be upset when you miss out on it. Don't get so upset at yourself. Don't beat yourself up when you miss out on a release, because at the end of the day, it's tobacco. At the end of the day, someone else is going to come out with another limited release.
Or
you're going
you're
to
liable to
find,
have somebody just share one with you.
right. You're going to have someone that wants to sit around and have
Yeah.
a good drink and have a good cigar.
Ron always shares his cigars with me.
I share them with everybody.
I
Yeah.
know.
Hell, I was here the other day and
I know you
handed
share
out,
with everybody.
2 Petite Cochon Blancs to people. One was a new guy, and the other was to Josh. So, that's just kind of what we do, And I'm
That's
sure
the
he'll,
culture.
he'll find something, go, "Hey, Ron, you got to try this," and he'll give me one,
Yeah. That's what we do. So Joseph,
Yes.
tell me, let's talk about how you got started smoking cigars.
Wow. Okay.
Like, what in your mind said, I want to smoke a cigar. I want to try that.
Convenience store, Black and Mild.
Not at all. Not at all.
Good.
Thank
Not
you,
at all.
Jesus.
No.
Thank you.
It was, I think it's the classical story of admiration.
Okay.
There,
All right.
I used to, back in the day, it was probably around 2014, 2015, so almost a decade ago. I worked at an airsoft store just down the road in Plano. And working at this airsoft store, we'd go to a local field up in Denton. called D14 Airsoft.
Okay.
And up there, we go and play different events. And there was one older gentleman that would come and play. He was probably in his late 50s, early 60s. And most of us only knew him by his call sign or his nickname, Pope.
Okay. Pope.
He just went by Pope.
Pope,
And he had been around in the community for so long that he would always spearhead and lead all of the events that they do. So if we did any form of military simulation event or just any event, he would be a commanding officer.
Okay.
And you'd always see Pope standing at the command tent with a cigar, just an unbanded, just crinkled, chewed up cigar, just pouring smoke out of his mouth.
Well, I noticed like some of the old timers. Don't get offended, y'all. They nod on the end of their damn cigar.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so go ahead.
Well, it's I kind of like the golfer's mindset. If you're outside, you're in the sun, you're wearing a bunch of heavy gear, you're sweating your butt off. You're not worried about taking the cigar out of your mouth and keeping it in perfect condition. You know, you're smoking the equivalent of a yard gar. You're not smoking, a night flight. You're not smoking an aviator.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, because you're gonna nod on it. You don't want to smoke your good stuff. You're like,
yes.
Yeah, I get it.
That's right, Wesley.
You're smoking a $5, big bundle cigar that at
that you don't care if
$5
you
you're
throw
not
away.
worried about it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's really thinking back. That's the first image that I had of seeing someone in person that I personally knew smoking a cigar. And then as I became of age, still playing airsoft, doing these events, working in the industry, that was a big victory thing for us.
Don't work too hard, Victoria.
Thing. That was how we wrapped up our weekends when we played
Love you,
airsoft.
bestie.
That was how we wrapped up our weekends. Is we'd all get together, we'd have a drink, and we'd smoke a cigar, and that was very much pure celebratory.
And it's Vicky. I'm seeing Victoria Hall, and I'm thinking, Victoria Hall, it's Vicky.
Duh.
Well, I've never known her as Victoria, but that's what her call sign is on the chat. So.
Come on, Ron.
Is she on YouTube?
Make the fro look
She's
good.
on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. She's not a Facebook kind of girl, so
We give him a fro and he turns into a blonde.
I know. Damn. Anyway, you interrupted
hair
our
sucked
show.
my brain
Right.
out.
Come on,
the
Ron,
hair
come on.
is messing with your damn brain. I need you to come on.
It's getting to you.
Come on, work with me. Get on the same page, look, baby. Get on the same
I see how
page.
you are, man. I see how you are.
Yes. Get on the same page. Anyway.
So you've been smoking since 2000 and when?
So so all of this, the story started around 2014. So I probably started smoking regularly around 2017, 2018.
Okay.
But it was never something that I did consistently.
Okay.
I didn't have a humidor at home. I had no idea how to treat cigars really.
Right.
I knew that you ripped a little bit off the end, you lit it and you sucked it into your mouth.
That's it.
It wasn't, like you see these NFL players or these college football players celebrating at the end of a championship game, and they're just chewing on cigars, ripping the butts off, or smoking them backwards.
Yeah.
Like it was that kind of a celebratory. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun anyway.
Right.
And I applaud that kind of a mindset, especially back where I was at the time. So fast forward years and years later, and I actually got back into smoking cigars when I met my fiance and finally was introduced to her father.
Okay.
So Allie, my fiance, sitting right over here, smoking on
Come
her
over here,
cigar
come
herself.
over here.
Come on, Allie.
Over for
Come
a
on
second.
over here, Allie. Yes, get on over here, girl.
Yeah.
Hey, and I love the fact that you smoke with him. Yes. Like I think it's so cool that you can enjoy this with him and you guys can enjoy this together. I think that's so cool. So
what are you smoking
welcome
tonight?
to the girls club.
Thank you. My porcelain.
Yes, she has from one of my favorite brands. It's a Deliverance porcelain from Black Label Trading Company.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful Connecticut that she's fallen in love with.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we
But
actually
you are
had a
going to
chance
start
to
expanding your palate, right?
Well, hold on. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. So we actually had a chance to talk for Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
And I know that she liked the sweet stuff at first, and then she started to expand her palate. So this is where she is right now with the Connecticut's. So she's done with the sweets. Not to say that, she won't go back, but every now and then.
Right.
She'll, she might like a little, I mean, because sometimes when you want a dessert but you don't want a dessert, you go get a cigar.
So-
Yes. Isn't it really? So yeah.
Here's when it comes to your argument about her expanding her palate, that Pitoro XO that you gifted me,
Yep.
she loved. She tried some and she loved. So she's expanding
my
her
God.
palate.
See?
But the problem is I'm expanding her palate with expensive stuff.
Well,
She
you
tried
know
the
what?
XO and loved it. I
Yeah.
gave her an Atabe Hachizos whenever we were in here the other night.
You're
and
trying
she
to
loved
ruin
it.
her.
Yeah.
You're trying to ruin her.
Well,
That's
see,
what-
look, if she's only going to
I'm gonna
smoke
tell
every
you
now
how
and
I
again,
got
I'm going to
ruined
let her
with
smoke good
Atabe.
stuff.
Well,
I was
and
up here
and,
one
you know, that's
Sunday.
one of the funny stories.
And
is
they,
that-
hold on, let me tell my story. How I got ruined.
All right, we
Hold
got
on.
stop sign.
I was up here one Sunday, as I usually used to be on every Sunday, and Dave Franks handed me a damn Atabe. And he said to me, when he handed that stick to me, he said, I'm gonna ruin you.
Yep.
At least he called it from the beginning.
Oh, he knew it. Oh, he
And
knew
what's
it.
funny,
Yeah.
and what's
He
funny
knew
is
it.
he
And
did
I
the
thought
same
to
thing to
myself,
me.
and I thought to myself, they're gonna ruin me. Shit, don't nobody ruin me. What the hell? Shit. I smoked that damn Atabe. Girl,
And
I was changed.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
do I have some in my humidor at home? Yes. Do I have some in my locker? Yes. Do I carry one with me? Yes. But let me tell you something. Them things is expensive too. So this is like a treat. So I treat myself.
Yep.
And when I treat myself, I always keep them.
But you know, I did.
I always keep them.
I like that.
For
Absolutely.
like
When,
a special treat.
when they first started doing Saturday at the shop, I was helping out and everything, and I would always come in and ask Dave, "What am I smoking today? What am I smoking today?" And he'd recommend something, and he did the same thing. He says, "I'm gonna ruin you today, Ron," and he handed me an Atabe, and I said, "Son of a bitch."
You got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yep.
And I
But
used
you
to,
know what?
I used
It
to come
shows
in
you
here
where
too.
the bar is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, it's kind of like drinking a really fine bottle of scotch.
Yeah.
You know, the Dalmore 17 is just phenomenal, but it's, you know, $150 a bottle, and you know, you don't do that very often.
Yep.
But you know that that's the Atabe's the same way.
Yes.
That's not something you smoke every day. But
Right.
No.
when you want to give yourself a little treat, you know,
By all means, just
You know,
smoke that.
it's the Atabes are wonderful. The Byrons are
I love
wonderful.
the
Let me
Byron.
tell you
They're-
what. Let me tell you what I was stuck on for the
What's
longest
that?
is the bandoleros.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And I
Which
don't-
one?
all of them.
All of them?
I just love that
Nothing
entire
specific?
line. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just give me a bandolero, I'm just gonna love it like I love it, like I love the first one. I'm
Okay.
gonna love on that damn stick like it never been loved on before. Because I
Okay.
just love the bandolero. I love the entire line.
That's
Just like I love the Crux. But
Yeah.
Crux is like, I don't know, for some reason Crux, that line is to me
Yeah.
was like one of the first lines that I just fell in love with.
Okay.
So it's like my baby. So
I
I
understand that.
love
I
it.
understand that.
So I
Yeah.
love the entire Crux line. I will
Yeah.
always be a Crux girl.
Yes.
I will always smoke that. I will always have one in my locker. I will always have
That's-
one in my case. I will always have a
Yes.
Crux.
I
But
know
the
that feeling,
bandolero
exactly.
is just, I mean, I will buy a bandolero before I buy a Byron, just because
yeah,
I
yeah.
love the bandolero.
Yep.
Well,
I
you
get
know-
it. Well, and because the Bandolero is such a great cigar at the price.
Yeah.
Like you're under $20 for every shape and size.
Yes.
Yep.
And you get an awesome smoke
Yeah,
every single
it
time.
doesn't matter.
Well, sir,
which
you don't have
one.
to hang out. You can go
Okay, I
back
was
and
like,
read.
hey,
You can go back. We just wanted to introduce you. And
And we want to say hi to Pops because
Yes, hi, Doug.
he
Yes.
is the one that helped you get
Yes.
back, like really, really,
Yes.
really show you how to smoke a damn cigar.
Right. So it's funny because we started dating. I actually met her doing the airsoft thing. You know, the whole the whole part of my life where I was idolizing cigars as
Yeah.
kind of the celebratory thing. Like we knew each other then, and then years and years go by. We reconnect and spend some time with her, and then finally meet her dad, and we started spending a lot of time together with her dad and her mom, just like the four of us together, getting
Yeah.
to know them getting to know me, and we started smoking cigars together out on their back patio.
Yeah, nice.
And then I'd want to go smoke more and go hang out with just just future father at this point, future
Your
father-in-law and
father-in-law.
I
Yes,
just
yes.
go hang out and have a cigar together. And then it got to the point of, well, he's not available. I'm not busy, so I've got some cigars, or I can go and get a cigar and smoke on
Right.
my balcony. And,
Yeah.
you know, so I'd go and get a few cigars, and then just over time it ballooned into. I have found
A passion.
a passion
A passion.
and a
A
love
passion.
Right?
for cigars,
Right.
for tobacco, and for
And
the
the
people
culture.
behind it, and
Exactly.
for the culture.
Right.
Because you can come from any walk of life,
Any walk of life.
from anywhere, and find yourself amongst people that
like minds.
that love the aspect of what we're doing here together,
Right,
the cigar,
right.
but they love each other.
Exactly. Don't you
love
just
being around each
the
other.
fellowship that you get from
Yes,
doing
fellowship,
this,
the brotherhood,
and the sisterhood that you get too,
sisterhood, yes.
right? And there's women that go into cigar lounges,
Excuse me.
but there's still not enough women that go into cigar
Right,
lounges.
yes,
And the
yes.
fact that when you see a woman walk into a cigar lounge that is predominantly men, it's always been a predominantly a man thing, you
Yes.
know, that a woman comes in there and the other guys are in there and they're saying, oh, she smokes too. Okay. That she can share that same thing with her partner it's just wonderful.
Well,
And
you
then
know-
you don't have to share it with your partner, but just share it with your other girlfriends and stuff. But we're the same. We like what you guys like. We like the aspect of being able to come into a cigar lounge and enjoy the fellowship with
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
because
Well, and
that's
you really
what you're
got
getting,
lucky.
and you're getting the conversation. And sometimes you just are going through things in life that you just don't want to sit at home. That you're going to come to a cigar lounge and someone might say the right thing to you that you need, that they don't know that you're going through something,
Yes.
and then they just sit
Yes,
down and they start
absolutely.
talking to you and they have no clue and they say the right thing to you and it just clicks.
It's
Like,
another
right?
beautiful day in
Right?
paradise.
Yes.
Exactly.
Have
Another
you
beautiful
ever-
day in paradise.
I might have told you about it. Have you ever heard about the 3-place mindset?
No.
You have to have 3 places in your life to have balance, to live a happy, fulfilled life. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. You need home. You have to
Yeah.
have a safe place where you can go to at the end of
Right,
the night, every
exactly.
night, where you can
Exactly.
sleep, you can rest your head, you
Right.
let everything go, you're not worried,
Yeah.
you're not scared,
Right.
you can be comfortable. Then you've got work. A place that's separate from home where you can be productive, you can have purpose, you can have drive,
Right.
you can feel
And pay the
useful.
bills.
Well, you can pay the bills, but this
Yeah.
is more on a soul level
Right.
than
Right.
on a useful in the world level.
Right.
Just how to keep your soul happy.
Right.
You've got to have that second place to go and search and search out your passions, but
Right.
put effort into the world. Feel like you're purposeful, like you have purpose. Feel useful.
But-
then you need a third place. That third place is a place where you can connect with other people that aren't at home or at work,
Yeah.
where you're at all the time.
Right.
That third place is community, outside of your family, outside of your work,
Right.
your coworkers, your boss, your peers, outside of all of that. That's what the cigar lounge can be for a lot of people.
And it not
It's
and
the
it is
getaway.
it's the getaway. It
Yes.
is it's a getaway. And also I think that part of that 3-parter that we were just that you were just talking about, you're at home. Your at home is your safe haven, it's your peace. So whatever it is going on outside of that, like whatever you got going on, whether it be work or whatever, relationships, marriages, whatever it is,
Yes.
when you gotta leave that out there, leave it outside. But when you get into your home, that's where you need to feel at peace and not worry
Yes.
about all that stress that you're thinking about.
Yes.
And that's a very important thing that people, and I, for lack of better generalization, a lot of people don't understand is separating those 3 places and keeping those things separate.
It's very important for your soul.
Yes.
So many people bring their work home, they bring their home problems to work, and so on and so forth, and they can't compartmentalize
Yes.
those environments and understand that, I, not to brag on myself or anything, but I do that very, very well. And that's one of the things that my boss and my employer enjoys about me is I don't bring home stuff into the office.
Right.
And if they have to bitch at me about something, I don't take it personally.
Right.
And they know that if they've got a problem with me, they can come to me and say, Ron, you screwed up, or Ron, we need to work on this, or whatever. And I don't take it personally, and we'll go out and have a beer later, and we're still co-workers and buddies at work, and they don't have to worry about hurting my feelings,
Yeah.
And and so many times you see relationships fall apart because they're bringing their work stuff home with them, and the spouse is getting the brunt of it, and it just doesn't work, And you can't do that. You've got to be able to compartmentalize that stuff. And like the lounge, and it may even be a church, you've got to have another community that you hook up with.
Right.
That, again, you may be able to talk about some of this stuff with, but you don't bring it in and make it a burden on anybody else.
Right. And then you know what? Actually, like, if you guys caught Tuesday's show here at the shop on the news side when they were broadcasting, and Dave, Brandon, and Adrian had AJ on the show last night, and they touched on a lot of this last night, and it was like sometimes people need to hear that. So they really brought a message to whoever needed to hear that. It was a great show last night.
And I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. I mean,
I did.
that
Yeah,
was a really.
I was working.
Yeah.
I'll have to go
Yeah,
back and
I'll
watch
have to go back and watch that.
It was a phenomenal show, and they really touched on this kind of environment and just like leaving the stress out the door. Whatever you got going on your personal life and outside, and you go into work. Let me tell you something. You leave that at the door, and when you come in here, you're safe. This is where you were safe. And then when you get home, you leave all that stress out at the door. Like, you leave it. Don't bring it into your house, because when you bring all that negative energy into your own personal space, what does that do for you?
It's no longer a safe place.
It's no longer a safe place, and it's still negative. And so for someone who is trying to be so positive and stay positive, you don't need any negativity flowing your way. You have to feel like you're safe. And if you cannot feel like you're safe in your own home, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Something is going on that you may need to talk to somebody, and that's okay. And this is what the Cigar Lounge does for people. It brings you together.
Yes.
The fellowship is just amazing in the Cigar Lounge. Like I said, you can say something to somebody, and you would never know that they're going through something by just that one word that you said to them that just kind of clicked, and it was like, wow. And they would never even know.
And I repeat this over and over. I've probably said it a million times already, but I'm stealing it from Dave. This is the great equalizer. When you come into a cigar lounge to have a cigar, you're equal with everybody else. They're there for the same reason, and that camaraderie is just so apparent and so needed. That it's just phenomenal. And and I'm not going to touch on the Saturday event that you and I went to.
Right.
But I told somebody about it because I have new shoes and pants and shit.
It was a great event.
They said, "Wow, I wish I could get on a deal like that." I'm like, cigar lounge. You meet people at cigar lounges, and you benefit, all of you, from the experiences and the things and skills and stuff that you offer.
Right.
In that environment,
Exactly.
I don't know how many people I've helped with computer problems, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I don't charge them for that. They're friends. And a long time ago, if you've got a minor computer problem, I'll fix it, and I'm not charging you nothing. I don't charge friends. And but if I need something, I know I can go to them, and they're more than willing to help me out and do stuff. One of my favorite stories is during the February freeze a couple of years ago, I was having heating problems. And I called up Aaron Klaus with Air Rescue. And I actually talked to Keisha, his wife, who I didn't call his personal cell phone. I've got that. But I called his office because, this was a work thing. And I said, listen, I'm having problems with the heating unit, blah, blah, blah. I said, call me before you come. So he calls me and says, what's it doing? And I told him, he goes, you can fix that. And he tells me how to fix it. Mm-hmm. And so I go up and I fix it.
Yeah.
And I call him back and I said, it's fixed. Don't worry about me. Go do your other stuff. Because I knew he was swamped. He was out. Everybody was out power and all this other neat shit.
Oh yeah.
So
scrambling.
But what did I do? I came to my locker. I grabbed 2 or 3 cigars, and I walked over to his locker and put those cigars in there. He didn't do anything but give me advice on how to fix it. But I made sure that I showed that I appreciated his help. And you get that kind of.
That's the kind of love that you get here. Hey Kim, my hairstylist is on watching.
Oh hi.
Yeah,
Kim.
I'll be
came
calling
in
you
tonight.
soon because I got to make my appointment.
You gotta re-up that purple.
Yeah, honey, gotta re-up that purple. That purple needs to get redone. That's right. That's right.
So there's one thing that I think that I've started to understand the older that I've gotten.
Yeah.
Because when I was young, my family was pretty invested in the local church. So they had that sense of community.
Right.
And my family, my immediate family when I was younger was relatively big. Lots of cousins and uncle, aunt, and everybody. So there was a sense of community there. And then as I got older, a lot of things in the family started to break apart, and that community that we had there in the family wasn't there anymore.
Right.
And then I noticed that was a big part of my life that I was missing. So I kept trying to find ways to
fulfill that,
to build
that back up,
community.
because you needed that. That's something
That's
that
one
you
of the things
needed.
that I love to see other people get out of going to church, is getting that solid community that's not just someone they can say hi to in passing every now and again. It's someone they can sit down with after a Sunday service and pour their heart out to if necessary.
Right.
I can do that same thing here in the lounge. Yep. I can sit down if I'm having a bad day and I just need to talk to you about something completely different. If I want to talk to you about something that neither of us are interested in, but it gets us to a point of I'm in a better place now that we've talked.
Yep.
I can find that here. This is a place where you can find and build community
and I don't
that
want to get
gives you
I don't want to get
as
too
much
religious.
as you put into.
Right.
I don't want to get too religious, but my ex-wife and I were agnostic, and I was agnostic for 20 years. And she got a wild hair and decided she wanted to take the kids to church so they would have other kids to play with and interact with. And we went to this church that she had picked out, and we had both been Baptist as kids and just got a bad taste in our mouth. We went to a Methodist church, and when we went in, those people acted like they were glad to see us. You know, it wasn't that fake camaraderie that you get some places.
Yes.
They actually, acted when we showed up the second week. Hey, we're so glad to see you guys back, and you could feel the sincerity in the statement. And that I get the same thing here. When I come in, I've got to spend the first 4 or 5 minutes just walking around shaking hands and saying hi to everybody.
Yes.
Right.
Every day when I come in.
And if I don't, I feel like I've not only missed out on something from them, but that I've neglected them as friends.
Yes.
And it's just kind of crazy that you can get that in a place like a cigar lounge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
and
so crucial having that community where you can walk in and just let your hair down and, like you said, leave all of your troubles behind and sit down, and whether you do it in silence, you can sit next to someone and be on your phones for 2 hours, sit down, smoke a cigar, not say a word, and you walk away, you feel better.
You feel absolutely 100% better. You feel less stressed. You feel relieved.
Yes, everything.
It's just such a wonderful feeling to be here. Carson, hi, baby. How are you?
I don't think
No, you have not.
Maybe. Joseph.
Carson.
Nice to meet you, Carson.
You look good with hair. Come here.
Doesn't he? Right? He's a little jealous of Joseph. So I had to bring him some hair.
Yeah.
I had to bring him some
put
hair.
him on an even level with me since we're sitting down
I had to bring
together,
him some hair. He was so jealous of him. I was like,
Well,
I
you know
got
what?
this.
That makes us the same height now.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
Carson, it's good to see you, boo.
You finally hit 5'8", did you?
That's it. That's the only way I hit 5'8".
Even after that, you got a couple to go, my friend.
Yep.
That's all right.
Okay, so let's get back on the cigar.
Yes. So
what was the first cigar you smoked?
Oh, okay. I don't know about the first cigar that I ever smoked because I'm sure it was
something that
came
you would nod on. That you went.
Something that came in butcher's paper for in a 20 count for probably $25.
Yep.
Like
okay, that's okay.
Probably a seconds bundle, which is fine.
Hey, we've all done that.
But the first cigar that I can vividly remember, I still remember the band. I've smoked it multiple times since then, and I've still enjoyed it every single time. Which It surprises people when I say it. It still surprises me.
Please don't say Gurkha.
No, it's not a
Okay,
Gurkha.
right.
There's a couple that I've actually enjoyed, but it's the only line I've only.
But that's
I've
a
had the
running gag.
ghosts.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Now that I've been in the industry and I've experienced and
Yeah.
dug into Reddit.
Yeah, you actually now you know
Reddit
why
trashes
it's
on
a
Gurkha so
right,
hard. I've had a
right.
couple of the ghosts and I've had a couple of the cellar reserves, and they were fine. They weren't great. They were fine.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
But it's not
no.
more. It's not so much of the stick itself. It's the people who produce it.
Yes.
And how
Fair
they
enough. Absolutely.
and the treatment that is
Yes.
given to the actual people who are
Yes.
actually
I'm probably
sitting there.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for this.
But
You
don't
don't
say-
have to. You don't have to.
But-
No. We'll get back to where I was going.
Yeah. So go back to where you was going.
So the Partagas Black Label.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Partagas
yeah.
Black
That is
Label.
that is a great
Dark,
stick.
oily,
That's a good stick. I mean,
meaty.
they
Just
produce
leather.
some.
Oh, the amount of leather that I get out of that cigar makes me want nothing but leather out of a cigar. I love that.
They do have a
Love it.
lot of sticks because I have a couple in my humidor too.
So here's the fun fact. That was the first and only Partagas that I had smoked up until a week ago. I just didn't care to experience the rest of their portfolio.
But you did the
because
160, didn't you?
I did the 160.
Yeah.
Well, Evan gave me a 160, and
Yes,
now
he
I
did.
want to reach into the humidor. If they weren't $20 a piece, I would go buy 5 right now.
Yeah.
I would go buy 5 and just sit on them for at least 6 months, and then smoke them all within a week because I have no self-control. That's the only reason I don't have a handful of 160s.
Plus, you don't have any
but-
room
but-
for
but
any
I
more.
don't-
But you
Yeah,
know
you
what?
do
No.
not have any room
But you
for
know what?
We've
I'm
talked about this.
Yes, we have.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
fan. I'm a huge fan of the Oscar
The lead?
Superfly.
Oh, the Superfly.
The Superfly.
Oh.
Yes.
And I bought a
So yes,
I
I've
bought-
the
never had that
Superfly.
one,
Oh,
but
what?
my father-in-law loves it. He loves the Superfly.
I bought a box of Superfly
Really?
what, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes.
That box is more than half gone.
I was about to say that's darn near gone.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how I got my first Superfly up here,
Let's hear it.
Andrew.
Okay.
So I had this thing with Andrew where I would just give him my credit card, go pick me 5 sticks. It didn't matter what they were. Go pick me 5 sticks. He knew my palate. He knew what I liked. And just go pick me 5 sticks. And I did that for over a year. And that's how I developed my palate.
Okay. That's smart.
Just smoking
That's smart.
different things because I like different things.
Yeah.
I like different sticks. I'm not so much of a Connecticut girl
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah, I
I've
can see
moved
that.
to the medium body to full body.
Okay, yeah.
But I
Habano,
will
probably
yeah,
Corojo and up,
I
yeah.
will smoke a Connecticut though. Don't get me wrong. The only thing I will not smoke right now, and probably not for a long, long, long time, is a flavored cigar.
Yeah.
Only if I feel like I've ventured into the flavored cigars.
Yeah.
And I started with the flavored
I was
cigars.
about to say your favorite's
Yeah.
Pat Bottametti over everything.
Actually, not at all.
I've given you a hard time. I know it's not.
Like
I know it's not.
I have smoked. I started with a flavored cigar because that's what I thought that I wanted. And after smoking that for like a week,
Yeah.
I realized that I was not a flavored kind of chick. I'm
fair
a
enough,
wait.
fair enough.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
go ahead.
I'm
Okay.
a flavored kind of girl now. I'm flavored now. Don't get me wrong.
But it's just not-
but when it comes to my sticks, I'm not a flavored kind of girl.
Fair enough.
But you know,
So-
when Chris and I did Cigar Company Spotlight for Drew Estates, one thing that we noticed was they put out a lot of shit. And I say that not derogatory, but they put out a lot of different blends and sticks. And I think they throw stuff together and just throw it against the wall, see what sticks. You know, and the Herrera Esteliz, those are phenomenal.
They're great.
But you know, they also do all of the acid stuff.
Yes.
Right,
And
right.
and they are just saying, well, what can we do with a blend now? Well, let's throw this in there. Okay, do that, and we'll throw it out there and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
And you know,
Well, that's kind of the problem though of once you get to such a large portfolio that you have to do stuff like that to get something unique enough that people are going to run with.
You know
because
what?
you
But you know
don't
what?
have you have so many people to support. You have such a chain to support that you can't take the
But they're not-
time
but
to
what
put together a
what Chris
dedicated
and I didn't
blend.
know-
You said it. Chain.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
chain to support.
Yes.
So when you go to boutique cigar lounges, you're not getting the same thing you're getting in a chain
Yes.
cigar lounge.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
But,
you're
you know,
getting
yes.
a lot of different
Same
stuff.
same thing
Now-
with cigar brands.
Yes,
But their
exactly.
Deal, but their deal is that they're not necessarily trying to improve the brands they've got.
Right.
They're just throwing something together and seeing if it'll stick. You know, and if they were trying to improve on what they had, I would think differently.
Well, I mean, when they have like the acid line, okay, the acid line is just, it's huge, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's like all flavored, right?
Right.
So they're catering to the people who like flavored stuff. I get
Right.
it, and you like it, I love it. It's just not for me. But I don't want to like knock the fact that they're producing that, because there's a lot of people that like acid.
Mm-hmm.
I even tried acid too.
Yes.
The acid
I tried
blondie.
an acid.
I,
I got about that far in and put it
Yeah.
down.
Okay, well,
Okay,
because you're
well,
not,
see,
yeah,
but
because
here's-
that's, your palate did
My
not
palate's-
like it. Your
my-
palate
my-
is
my
beyond
palate's-
that, because
Yes.
it's
Right.
sweet. So if your palate is not gonna smoke that, why would you, don't even buy it, right?
Right.
But if you're like a flavored kind of cigar person and you don't wanna go to a Fat Bottom Betty
Right.
or Sweet Jane, you're gonna automatically venture to an acid because the whole shit is sweet. Right?
Yeah.
Like I
and it's
tried
beyond
the blonde.
sweet. It's not
beyond-
just sweet. It's
beyond,
flavored.
It's
You
flavored.
get flavors.
Right.
You're not just getting tobacco. The way I look at it,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why when I'm in the humidor and I'm talking with someone
Yeah.
about what to suggest, if I can't get a good foothold with their cigar experience, I always go straight to coffee. If they're not a coffee drinker, it's harder. But coffee, how people take their coffee gives you a good idea.
Right, but if they
Yeah.
don't drink coffee, then you start looking, well, do you drink lattes or do you drink
Well,
cocoa?
but exactly.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
And if
is
they-
you look
if
at
they're
coffee.
drink-
If someone dresses their coffee up, if they go to Starbucks and they get a
Mocha Frappuccino, blah,
that
blah,
has
blah.
6 pumps of vanilla, it's got
Yeah.
3 pumps of hazelnut,
Right.
and it's got 2% milk,
Then
it's
you know
going
that
to
they
be
can
a
go-
lot sweeter,
You know
but it's
that
going
you
to
can go
have
to
that
an
flavor
acid
added
for
in.
'em right off the bat.
Exactly.
Right.
With
Or-
that type of person, you go with something that's sweet and flavored because they like a sweet coffee
Yeah.
with non-coffee flavors. So
Right.
they want sweet tobacco with non-tobacco flavors.
Right.
That's but there's something for everyone there.
Right.
Which is a nice thing about such a large portfolio. You're right. They kind of throw stuff, see what sticks. But we also get glorious things like Herrera Esteli.
Yep.
Yes.
And we get good things that are cool collaborations like the M81.
Yeah.
But we get great things. We continue to get great things like Liga. The fact that
Well,
we've
and-
continued to get
Well-
a relatively consistent Liga
Well,
And
means
also,
that something good
Well-
is
don't
out.
forget the Angelique from Principal.
Right? You got the
Yeah.
Angelique from
And
Principal.
and you know and what I like, I'm still not a huge fan. That I love all Principals, and
Okay.
and on the Principal list, the Angelique is at the bottom, but that because I don't like a sweet cigar, but because they only flavor the tip, that fades, and
It
you're
fades,
getting
yeah.
and you're getting
Yeah.
that brilliant flavor after that sweetness fades.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to worry. It's and if you got somebody who's wanting a flavored cigar, and they're new, hit them with an Angelique.
Yeah.
And say, let me know how this, because then you've already skipped a stage.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the things that I find
And
you can
Toscano's
get some
another
people
one.
to do. Yes, the
Toscano
Toscano is a
is
great
great,
direction
yeah.
to point people.
it is.
And I was actually the first time I had a Toscano, I was in West Palm Beach, I was hanging out with Allie, my fiance that we all met earlier,
Uh-huh.
hanging out with her uncle. And he's got this humidor that he keeps outside because he's basically in Miami.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he
shit,
doesn't
I mean,
care
it
about
has
relative humidity because
Right.
it's pinned right around 70 degrees, 70%
Yeah,
all the
so
time.
you're
there
good.
anyway.
You're like,
But
I would keep
he
mine out
pulls
there
out this
too.
Toscano. I had no idea what it was, never seen it before. I was like, what in the world is this thing? This kind of looks like something
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood would have
Yeah.
smoked. Like, I remember that.
Right.
From all the spaghetti westerns and all the westerns and
Right,
whatever. Like, all those
right.
super tiny cigarillos. And, I see that.
Something Clint Eastwood would smoke.
And I go, okay, this is kind of a joke. And he looks at me and he goes, this isn't a joke, smoke it. Chris, he handed me the Toscano. So he hands me this cigar. Shout out. Wow. Christy, you guys were awesome. Thanks for having us. So he brings me this Toscano, hands it to me, and it is the wildest experience. I never expected something so goofy looking to taste
Oh, yeah.
like a good cigar.
And you don't even have to keep it in the humidor.
No.
That's the beauty
That was the
about
weird
that's
thing.
the beauty behind that stick. You don't even have to keep it in the humidor.
It still confuses me, and I still would want
right?
to. I
Right?
would still want
but
to.
You can smoke it from either end. You can cut it in half.
I like that you can cut it in half.
Yeah, you
and
can
save
cut it
the
in
other
half
for
and
later.
save the other half
Save
later, right?
Why don't we even have the barbecue aftertaste to it? And I'm like,
Yep.
dude, I'm eating ribs.
Look, all right,
It's interesting.
Is he
But
hungry?
yeah.
You thinking about
And then-
food already? Are
and
you
then you've
hungry?
got then you've got the DC flavored stuff.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
sweetened, but it's flavored.
Yeah,
So
right.
you've got a bunch of different avenues that
Well, you know, and the
you get to
interesting.
experience the same thing, so that you
Right.
don't have to choke down something that tastes like tire leather if you don't like, or tire rubber and leather if you
Right.
don't like that.
Right.
Well, you
well,
know what?
I
When I
would
first
say,
started drinking scotch, I got a list of inexpensive scotches to
Uh-huh.
try. And one of them was the Black Grouse. The Grouse is a blended scotch, inexpensive, and they have another one called the Black Scotch, Black Grouse. And I bought a bottle. And I like leather, but that was leather overload.
Okay, yeah.
It tasted like I had taken a leather jacket, stuck in my mouth, and started sucking on it.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, I'm never buying this shit again.
That's rough. Yeah.
But you know,
that's too funny. So
That's rough,
before
yeah.
we get too
Sure.
far, well, not far, because we're almost out of time right now, but I do want to give a big shout out, happy birthday to Dustin. Today is Dustin's birthday.
Yes, it
today.
is.
Dustin, happy
So
birthday.
happy birthday to Dustin.
Yeah.
I hope that your day was amazing and that you've had a wonderful, wonderful,
and when I see you,
wonderful
I owe
day.
you a cigar.
Yes, yes. So
That's-
happy.
that's my mode
So
of
happy
operating.
birthday,
Yes, it is.
Dustin.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Oh, Dustin's here.
Yes.
He's right over there.
All right, I got a cigar for you.
But anyway, so back to the palettes real quick before we end our show. I'm not a coffee drinker at all. I drink tea,
Tea. Okay.
green tea,
Okay.
lemon ginger tea, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not a Thai
Floral,
kind of.
spicy, or
No.
Oh no. So
No.
floral. Okay.
I do
Green-
not
but-
like spice at all.
No. So no
Uh,
chai.
No, it would never be Thai. So it's always green tea or lemon
Okay.
ginger tea. That's the
Okay.
only thing I would drink.
Interesting.
And so when I go to Starbucks, and some people don't like Starbucks because they say the coffee is too strong, but I don't even get coffee.
Okay.
I get tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called a Monster Ball, and what it is 2 bags of tea, and then it's some lemonade,
Okay.
and it's they, what do you call that? They don't put in, they heat it up, they heat up the lemonade, and they just throw it in there with some honey. Woo, voila, I'm good. I make it at home all the time. My thing is tea. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Okay,
So you would think
okay.
because if I was a coffee drinker that my palate would be different. No, my palate is what it is, but it's not because I drink coffee. It's because
Right.
I like to try different things, and so
Yeah.
I've developed my own palate just drinking tea.
Yes. Well, and that's why I use it as a
Thank you very
jumping
much,
off
Rick.
point or a starting point. I never use it as a because you
Yeah.
like dark
Yeah.
roast black coffee. You
Right.
have to smoke bitter or bold.
No,
or
but
this.
that is a good way to kind of figure out somebody who's new to the lounge and new to the
And
humidor.
if they're drinking
Because-
black coffee,
because
you know
it's the way
that
to
you
get
don't
to know
you don't
them.
want to give them
Yes,
a,
and
what they
a
want.
light cigar. You want to move closer to the medium for the most part.
For the most part, because I would actually argue against that. I would say that.
Well, their palate's already developed enough. They're used to the bitterness.
Well, right.
And that
But
type of thing.
so pairing though.
Oh yeah.
With pairing, I would do contrasting pairing just as much as I would do complementary pairing.
But you know what? Luciano's was in here talking about that, and he says contrasting is good, provided the flavors are good at contrasting.
Yes.
And if they're not,
Yes.
then you do contrasting
Yeah.
and you just ruin the
Right.
whole experience.
Yes, that
Right.
no, it is important.
Yep,
And
yep.
Luciano is someone that can experience and
He's a weird
describe
dude.
his experience
Yeah, I
with
love
flavors
that man
in a
but
way
he is
that
weird
most people
dude.
can't.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
because of his disability.
Right. I would almost an
His-
ability.
I was about to say it's
about-
almost a superpower.
Exactly. Especially when it comes to tobacco.
Exactly.
Heightened senses in any form of a way, while it's maybe a detriment in the rest of his life, it helps him hear very
Yes.
well.
Well, you can learn a lot from him too, and that's one of the reasons why he's such a phenomenal kind of man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
we are just about.
So, yes,
Wow.
but so I got just a couple more questions.
Sure. Okay. I'm here as long
What's
as you
your
guys need.
everyday smoke right now?
Ooh, you
Do
had to hit me with that.
Do you even
Ooh.
have an everyday smoke?
Right now, if I was to choose, there's one that I haven't been able to find anywhere but online. And
Don't say that loud, man. That'll get you fired, man.
yeah, you know what? I'm loyal to the lounge. I love being here, and I like to smoke a lot of cigars. I don't like to smoke just what we have in the humidor.
I understand
Right?
completely.
Some
You're
of
like
my-
me. I like to smoke a
One
variety of stuff.
Only one of my favorite brands do we carry in the humidor. That's Foundation. I've got a couple other favorite brands
Yeah.
that we don't carry, and that's just because I like their stuff.
So what
But-
is one you order periodically online?
So it's the Black Crown Robusto. Simple, that's it. Black Crown
Okay.
Robusto. It's a pretty mixed blend. I believe they come out of Nicaragua, I think, but it's a Nicaraguan, Honduran, Dominican blend.
Okay.
It's very medium profile. I can hand it to anybody and
Well,
feel
I would
like
like
they'll
to try
enjoy
that.
it. I'll have to get a box and bring you guys a couple.
We'll have to,
Aside
we'll
from
have
that,
to,
the
well,
Roma
we
Craft.
can get a box and
Okay, yeah,
we'll
let's
get
do
it.
that.
Just
I'll make sure we're getting the right stuff in.
yes.
And then
yes.
The Roma Craft.
Oh, the Roma Craft is good.
The Intemperance Whiskey Rebellion.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's
Ooh.
another great
Ooh.
medium.
I think I
can-
have a few Roma Crafts in my
Yes.
locker right now.
Any of the day, I can pick that one up.
Yeah. Roma Craft is really good.
Those,
Now-
those would be my go-to if I'm grabbing something any time of the day. That's what I'm grabbing. One of those.
So, what do you smoke when you want to smoke something on a special occasion?
Roma Craft Neanderthal. Every single time. Roma Craft Neanderthal.
Okay.
All right.
I've got two HSs, which is like a Corona Larga.
Yep.
Corona
Yeah.
Larga.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I've got two of those in the humidor I just picked up that are.
The Neanderthals are just fucking huge. I mean,
Well, you can get them in small vitolas.
I know, but still, I
It's
mean, just the
as far as
flavor alone.
body, flavor, strength,
Yes.
they're big.
They're
They're
big.
huge.
Yeah.
I had the last one I had was for New Year's,
Okay.
and that's I try to have one of those in the humidor hanging at some point so that if it is a special occasion or I want to make it a special occasion,
Right.
I pull out a Neanderthal.
There you go. Hi, Josh. Thank you for joining.
It's about time you showed up.
You're a
today,
little
Josh.
late. His daughter got an award today.
Oh, did she really?
Yes, she did.
Wow, that's
yeah,
so
she got
good.
an award today. She did.
Well, Josh, say congrats to her.
Congratulations to your baby girl.
Give her a big hug for us,
Absolutely.
and I hope you like the hair.
I'm gonna keep this.
Hey, I don't know about that. I'm gonna let you use the hair.
Is that the deal? I only get
Hey.
to borrow it.
You can only wear
You
it
can-
when
you can-
I'm not around because
Exactly.
I don't need a doppelganger.
Right? Exactly.
When I'm not around, when I'm
Please,
not around,
dear God, I'm not that good looking, Josh.
Hey,
I'm a firm believer of one of Clint Eastwood's classic lines.
Okay, what's this?
A man's got to know his limitations.
There you go.
And I understand that I'm not the best looking guy in the world, and I have no hair.
That you do not have hair.
Well, Ron, you said you had a couple more questions. You got anything else for me?
That's it.
That's it?
Well,
Ron, anything else?
that's it, baby. Thank
Other,
you so much.
other than the statement that, despite the fact of everything, I love you, man.
Appreciate it.
And thank you
I
for
love
being
the
part of
both you.
ICC. It's
Exactly.
truly a
And
pleasure
thank
to
you
walk
for
in
being
here and
here
see,
on
and
the
see
show
your face.
tonight,
It's
because
it's just, you're just such a joy to see when I come into the lounge.
And you know,
Awesome.
and she
Thank
said
you.
Joseph's
Yeah,
got to be
thank
on
you.
the show, and I was so and all joking aside, I was so glad to hear that she had already lined you up because I wanted you on the show. You're a great guy. You got a wealth of knowledge, and you actually been smoking cigars longer than I have.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have.
I have been more, so I've been smoking cigars with the level of experience and
I've
interest
only
for
been
3.5
smoking-
years.
Yeah, but you started long before I did.
Yeah, but that was so unserious that I just don't count it as cigar smoking. I
And-
dabbled.
And you were
Yeah.
joking about,
I
you know, not knowing what to do with the cigars.
Right.
I actually started out smoking a pipe, and I did that for
Oh.
about 6 months.
Okay.
And then I had my first cigar, and after that, I was in a pool league at the time, and they allowed smoking in there, and so I would buy a cigar and go and shoot pool and have a cigar. And I didn't know how to cut one properly, and I cut so many, so deep, and they unraveled like a motherfucker on me.
Yep.
And it wasn't until I came here and went, oh, that's what the fuck I'm doing wrong.
Yep. You learn pretty quick when you're around people that have the knowledge to share.
Right.
Yes.
Josh says his everyday is a foreign affair.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Foreign Affair is a good smoke.
I can't say that I've had one. So Josh, we need to sit down and smoke one together. Because
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had that one. Matter of fact, I know I have never had it.
It's a great Luciano stick.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it's a great Luciano.
I know I haven't had that.
Well, it
It's a
just came
Luciano.
out. I mean, we just got them in the humidor
Oh,
a couple
okay.
weeks
Well,
ago.
see,
so, yeah.
I'm not
we
missing
jumped-
out then.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So,
we-
that's great.
So Josh jumped from whatever he was smoking, and now he's doing the foreign.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Okay,
get it. I get it.
Josh.
If you haven't had the El Enemigo yet, that's another good daily with a little bit of pepper if you can deal with some pepper.
You know, if it's in the very beginning, I'm okay with it.
So-
but if it's throughout the stick,
throughout the
Okay.
stick, I'm just not gonna.
So I will say it this way. It dances on and plays with the palate through the whole cigar. It's noticeably there the whole time,
Okay.
but it is not overwhelming at all.
Okay. Well, I may
So
try.
it's-
then I may try.
But
it.
definitely have to
one,
try it.
Yeah.
that's one to try.
It's try.
And if it's overwhelming,
you want
Then you just
Yes.
know that you just won't
Yes.
smoke that one again because I know that he
give
has
it the
like,
first third.
Yes.
If you can't
Yeah.
stand the pepper through the first third,
Okay.
then it won't be for you.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
okay.
a pepper or spicy kind of girl.
George Rico was in here the other night, so
Yes.
I had
Right.
to try it while he
Right.
was here
Right.
to honor him coming in and being awesome enough to do a spotlight and do the podcast. So I wanted to smoke
I was
his
so
new
glad
release.
that I live streamed that whole
Oh,
thing.
yes.
It was just
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy.
Again, thank you guys for having me on. It's been awesome being a part of the ICC family and get to know you guys.
Well, they got a good
It's-
one when they got you.
Well, I hope to remain here as long as ICC remains.
Good.
Like these, it's
Well,
a wonderful
we
place.
love
wonderful
you
people.
as part of the family.
Thank you.
We
Thank
love
you.
Josh as part of the family. We love everybody, actually. There's not one person that they have hired that has not, well, let me take that back.
Okay.
We've had a lot.
We have had.
And we currently have a lot of wonderful people.
Now,
The crew that they currently have now
Yeah.
is absolutely
they are
wonderful.
phenomenal. Now, let me tell you
Wonderful.
something funny. And I texted you about this earlier. I was looking for a picture in all of my pictures, and I have taken a lot of photos at ICC and wherever, doing all kinds of shit. And I ran across some old stuff with Jasmine, and I was like, man, I miss her. Jasmine was here
Yeah.
several years ago, worked here, and Jasmine was just
She was here when I first
phenomenal.
started coming here. She
And-
was very knowledgeable in the humidor
And she
too.
was very,
Yeah.
and
She's
she
such a
was just
sweet-
That's
great.
cool.
So,
Excuse me.
Jasmine,
Sweet
I know
soul.
you're not watching, but I hope this gets back to you.
Sweet
we
soul.
miss you here.
She's
Come
a
visit
sweet soul.
us.
She's engaged too now.
Oh, wonderful.
Is she?
Yeah, so,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so she's
awesome.
engaged too now. So
Now
I'm
I'm
sure she's.
disappointed. I was hoping to date her.
Don't nobody want you, man.
I know.
Hey,
I know.
he's got new hair now. He might
Oh,
have
maybe
more
he
success.
does. He's
He
got
might
new
have
hair,
some more
right?
success.
Right. Okay, so
Yes.
so hey, if you're out there watching and you have some single friends that might want someone like him,
Send him his way.
send him his way. He has hair now, so they might want someone with some hair. Now, when you go to grab it, it might fall off. So don't
be scared.
Don't be
But there are
scared.
girls like that anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot that will fall off.
They will fall
I am
off.
not one of them.
Are we calling Nick Cannon? Does he get to be on Wild and Out now?
Hey, that might be a good one for him. But anyway, you guys, thank you for joining our show on this wonderful, beautiful Wednesday night with Joseph and his twin. I hope you guys
twins now.
have a great week.
So one of us is going to have to shave.
Right.
Or
And-
not shave.
No. And happy Mother's Day
You'll
to
have
your
to not
wives, your
shave.
sisters, your mothers, your grandmothers.
Yes, yes. Happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Hit up your moms. Give us something nice. And good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.